Greetings, ladies and mentalgets, and welcome to this latest episode of Tales from Outer Space, where I take a space-related story from around the internet and read it out loud for your enjoyment. All the relevant links are down below. Please don't forget to do the usual YouTube gumph, because if you don't, the nanite swarms will steal your other sock. But more importantly, as always, I hope that you enjoy. I just want to give a quick thanks to the Tier 5 channel members and patrons. Bob the Dragon, Datamagnet, Sergeant Puma, Cat Crab Lobster, and Duck Machine. Thank you very much for the support. It is much appreciated. Story number 1. Show Me Your Friends, written by Meangator. Arguably, the war with the Tsars didn't go well for both. The lizards had been proved to be very tough nut to crack. We had grossly underestimated their technology advantage, and they had grossly underestimated our numbers. So the war was driven to a very expensive stalemate. The humans happened. They came from an unexplored Orion arm. They were also technologically advanced, on par with the Tsars, but had a radically different disposition both to the Tsars and us. For starters, they liked Tsars. Don't ask me why, they just liked them. They're our enemies, and admittedly, they get a healthy respect from everyone, but liking them, I wouldn't go so far, and I'm not talking only about us. These humans are kind of aloof, though they seem interested in everything. They keep their distance from everyone except the Tsars, that is. How and why these radically different creatures can get along so well is beyond me. Sure, aliens do alien things, but how in the name of all things holy can they get along? How not like them? They're like angry mini T-Rexes that after having a bad day at work caught their spouses cheating on them with the best friend, and yet when they don't want to rip you apart, they're gentle and generous and most importantly, trustworthy, was the answer given. Of course, things were not that simple. The truth is that when the Tsars met the humans, things didn't start out well. Tsars are highly aggressive, and if there is something that most humans hate with a passion more than ladyfingers, is bullies. To be fair, Tsars are not bullies, but also to be fair, their aggression could easily be mistaken as such. Point is that they went almost straight to the war, and that was finished as fast as it started, and now they're besties. They were neutral, but surely, as Nine Hells themselves watched the ongoing war closely. When we managed to defeat the Tsars on System AS-32/B-24C and gained orbital superiority, they made sure that no planet bombardment was to take place. They had two main arguments. The first was that the Tsars never used orbital bombardment and never attacked the civilian population. The second was a battle carrier group that happened to jump into the system. To keep a long story short, they finally intervened to find a diplomatic solution to end the war between the Commonwealth and the Tsars Republic. The peace conference was held at the heart of the Humans Federation on their home planet, on an island named Delos. I studied their history, not only because it was required as a matter of member of the diplomatic corps delegation, but because I'm a history buff. They nearly polluted their home planet to death, but after a millennium of restoration, Earth, their home planet, became again pristine, sparsely populated, and with strict population control. Their part of the galaxy is rich in Earth-like worlds, and being the only sentient species there, they have as much space as they'll want. Not that their solar system is not heavily industrialized. I've never seen so many stations and so many ships in a star system, but the artificial ring circling Earth, by gods, it's jaw-dropping megastructure that speaks volumes about their technology levels. The peace talks went surprisingly well. Humans are born diplomats, and Tsars are indeed very gentle when they don't want to rip out your intestines. I casually approached the head of the human delegation, Ambassador Merpel Papadakis, that was talking cordially with a member of the Tsar's delegation. "Greetings, I hope I'm not interrupting," I said, trying to hide my instinctual fear of the 2.5 tall meter carnivorous lizard. You are not, stated a matter-of-factly Ambassador Zamhan Narok. I was going out to stretch my legs. 2 hours of sitting down is 2 hours too much, he continued. Is he avoiding me? I asked the human when the Zamhan Narok left. No, he really needs to stretch his legs. Zars really hate sitting down, and they really hate enclosed spaces. Being closed in a conference room is really a gesture of their goodwill. Zars are indeed intimidating, but to their core are one of the most gentle species. She paused for some seconds. Surely they are more gentle than us, she continued bitterly. What do you mean? I asked. When our war started, we hated the Zars with a passion. The only thing that kept us back from committing war atrocities, and we are damned good at that, is if you ever wondered why we have so many rules of war, was the fear of retaliation from a species with technology on par with ours. Many of you wonder how come 2 of the most aggressive species come along so well. So the truth is, Mr. Ambassador, that you were very lucky to meet the Zars and not the humans before we met the Zars. The big, aggressive, intimidating Zars are also gentle and generous and trustworthy, and manage to build an interstellar civilization without destroying themselves. As we nearly did. We've always set high standards for ourselves, but we never managed to live up to them. I looked at her dumbfounded. I've had read the history. They didn't hide anything about their stripes, but this confession was totally not expected. You don't believe me, do you? She asked. She didn't let me respond. Let me tell you a story. Back in the first months of our war with the Zars, they invaded an underdeveloped colony. We fought them in space, and we fought them on the land. We lost an armored marine battalion fighting Zars, big, fecking rears, but in the end they won. We knew that they didn't attack the civilian population, however. We didn't know that they loved parades. They ordered the defeated population of the only city that in the goddamn forsaken world to watch the parade. And as they paraded, a small girl escaped her mother and ran to the parading Zars, giggling and screaming, Look, Mom, a tyrannosaur! Everybody froze. The girl's mother screamed as one of the Zars bent over to the little girl, being sure that the giant lizard would rip her daughter apart. Do you know what the Zar soldier did? He picked the little girl up, giggling. Can you imagine? A monster, giggling. Put her on his neck. The little girl peed herself from the excitement, while the company nearly lost it laughing their Syrian rears off. She sighed. We humans have a saying, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Zars are our friends. We are not yet what we are striving to be, but we are trying, Ambassador. We are really trying. End of story. Story number 2. What did you think would happen? Written by EndersGame69. What did you think would happen, you thundering idiot? The question was screamed on comms at the last ship. The ship that had on it the only remaining officer, the one in charge. And he hung his scaled head in shame as he took the abuse. Well, I'm talking to you. What do you think would happen? The voice screamed again. They, didn't have warp capability. No ley lines, no regular space travel. I thought it would be an easy one, and it kind of was. Just, the commander's defense was immediately cut off by another expletive-filled rant. You just thought our species that poisons itself with pleasure would roll over after one win. Did you even read the species categorization ratings? Here, let me read it for you, you illiterate slimeback. The voice on the other end cleared its throat, and bringing up its tablet screen, he read off. Self-categorized species Homo sapiens sapiens. Aggression rating 10 out of 10. Social adaptability rating 7 out of 10. Innovation rating 9 out of 10. Survivability rating 10 out of 10. Weapons proficiency rating 10 out of 10. He cleared his throat again. And you just handed a species like that interstellar warp capability, told them we exist, and made us seem hostile. Even our best efforts won't get another fleet there for another 20 cycles. If they launch a fleet on par with that one, there are 40 colonies within a jump away. They shouldn't have had that technology for another 1,000 years, and that's if they didn't destroy themselves. How will you make up for this? I, set the ships to self-destruct. The cores were radioactive. Too much so, even for their suits. He mumbled. They won't get the technology. They already did! The speaker shrieked and flung the tablet down hard enough that it could be heard shattering, even from the ship's captain's position. The last transmission showed that they used suicidal crews to disable the self-destruct. They lost at least 1,000 lives outright, and even more to what will be fatal illness. They literally killed themselves to get what you stupidly left behind. They can self-terminate? The commander gasped, only to have him full of intelligence apex predators were able to do that, and only 3 he knew of were sapient. Yes! The functionary shrieked. So now a suicidally homicidal species renowned for holding grudges has both the grudge and the technology to pursue it. All thanks to you. I'm sorry, the captain mumbled. So are we all, the male on the screen said. Then the transmission cut off. End of story. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you do, please consider supporting the author, even by popping over and leaving a thumbs up or a nice comment, just to show your appreciation for the story. However, if you wish to support this channel, there are links down below which will help immensely. I will see you all in the next one, and until then, I hope that you have a fantastic day. Cheers.